From Devlin Field at Lawrence High School in Lawrence, Mass. is Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on LSP. Tonight, Sunday night baseball of the ICL variety as the Blue Sox with a record of 8-3-1, second in the ICL. Visit the Middlesex Expos with a record of 5-8, seventh in the ICL, the second of three meetings between the two squads this season. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story, otherwise known as Great Value Brand Jason Benetti, as long as we're making Sunday night baseball references. But the Blue Sox with a huge win on Friday night against Mass Envelope, who were the sacrificial lambs after the Blue Sox had to tie ADSL in 9 innings after 2 consecutive rainouts, then losing to Palmer before those on the 1 out left before a potential 1 point for a 9-inning tie with them. A 17-4 finish at Fallon Field in Roslindale in that game. Ended up being a mercy rule victory for the Blue Sox in 6 innings. It was a 7 spot in the top of the 5th helped seal the deal. The Expos at 5-8, but only 2-5 against ICL competition. Lost a 3-2 decision to the Blue Sox on Friday, June 5th. That was a walk-off dub for Lexington. The only game, and these two teams ended up playing in the regular season at LHS. All 3 games between the Blue Sox and the Expos are scheduled for 3 different stadiums. Already had the game at Lexington High, the game here at Lawrence High tonight, and that'll be the regular season finale for the Blue Sox at East Boston Stadium at the end of July. July 30th is the date of that game. Again, the regular season finale as far as the, actually it's for both teams as their regular season finale, as fate would have it. Again, be at East Boston Stadium July 30th, the last meeting between these two teams. Expos in black, Blue Sox in shockingly enough blue. As we get things, we're about to get things started here with Angel Cologne taking the bump for the Middlesex Expos. Cologne's making his 2nd appearance of the season. On June 9th against Mass Envelope, got the dub in 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run with 1 walk and 6 Ks. This is the Blue Sox lineup he will face. Jake McElroy will lead it off in center, followed by Frank Landero at second. Pat Casserly is in left. Tell your friends Luis Atiles is back with the Blue Sox. He's batting cleanup at third base. It's actually his 2nd game back with the Blue Sox this year. Craig Corliss is the extra hitter. Anderson Jimenez is at short. Brian Acosta is the DH. Harry Tucker is in right. Max Pavlik is at first. And Brendan Doyle rounds out the 10-man lineup behind the plate. Cologne, the right-hander, will be throwing to Yendry Rivero, his catcher. Left to right in the outfield for the Expos, Rodriguez, Cam Jana, and Jacques. And third to first in the infield, Ramos, Paulino, Jimenez, and Mons. No Jack Pasiak in the lineup tonight for the Blue Sox, and I'm sure the Expos are thrilled about that. I'm sure any team would be thrilled not to have to face Jack Pasiak with the tear he's been on lately, although on Thursday night was held hitless for the first time this year. But Jake McElroy, certainly a competent bat himself, at the top of the lineup with a .916 OPS entering play in 7 games. Slashing .273, .370, .545 with 3 doubles, 1 homer, and 6 ribbies. McElroy has posted a OPS above 900 in each of his 3, 2.5, I guess, at this point, seasons with the Blue Sox in 37 games, a career .916 OPS, but hasn't yet attempted a stolen base after being 8 of 10 last year. First pitch coming at you, 8:01 is a strike, and we are underway from the happiest place on earth, Lawrence, Massachusetts. Cologne with the 0-1 in the full windup, seeing fewer and fewer pitchers, starting pitchers these days, use the full windup. And even those who do, it is a very subtle windup. It's very easy to look at and think you're just going from the stretch, like it's a very slight toe tap. See the rock a little bit better there from Cologne to tell it's from the full windup. You would never do that from the stretch. But it is 1-2 after the swing and the miss by Jake McElroy. A little hitch there, and it'll be fouled into the screen. Do it again at 1-2. Don't forget to vote in the Who You Got poll. Let us know if you got the Blue Sox, the Expos, or just praying this game doesn't go 9 innings. Blue Sox second in the ICL, 1 point behind Andre entering play tonight. Curveball misses down low, 2-2. Swing and a miss, breaking ball down and away for out number 1. Matt goes down, and here is Frank Landero, the second baseman. Landero playing in his 9th game, slashing .333, .444, .429. Swings at the first one and fouls it off for strike 1. 7 hits, only one of which is for extra bases, a triple, and 3 ribbies. But 5 walks to 2 strikeouts and 4 out of 4 in stolen bases. 2 consecutive foul balls have Frank behind 0-2. Frank was 0 for 3, but with 2 ribbies and 3 walks against Mass Envelope on Friday after missing the previous 2 games. And he strokes that one the other way into right center field for a 1-out base hit. Phenomenal piece of 2-strike hitting there by Landero in his first season with the Blue Sox. Picks up his 8th hit of the year. And he is aboard for Pat Casserly, who had a historic night against Mass Envelope on Friday night. Casserly on Friday night had 3 hits and 5 ribbies, was a homer shy of the cycle. And his 5 ribbies in a game are tied for the 5th most in a game for the Blue Sox since 2006. Ross Curley, Dave Ahern, and Mike Hart each had 5 ribbies in a game as a pickoff attempt. Very close, but back safely is Landero. The 4-6 RBI totals in one game since 2006 belong to Pete Frates, Julian Alvarez, and twice by Nick Anderson. Another pickoff attempt, and they got him! He was going back into the bag standing up and stumbled a little bit over the bag. He's not thrilled about the call, is Frank, but that eliminates the base runner, and now there are 2 down. Boy, was that a point of emphasis by ADSL on Thursday night, and a swing and a miss by Cass, and it is now 0-2. Tough break for Frank because he had two ribbies. Had no official AB. I misread that. Said 0 for 3, but it was actually 0 for 0 with 3 runs scored. Did not have an official plate appearance. official AB, I should say. 2 ribbies, 3 walks, 1 sacrifice, and a stolen base. It's now 1-2 to Cass. It is now 2-2 to Cass. Blue Sox enter play leading the ICL in extra base hits, first in doubles and triples with 27 and 7, and second in home runs with 6. 2-2. Fouled into the screen. Julian Alvarez is leading the ICL in doubles despite only playing 7 out of possible now 13 games for the Blue Sox. This is the halfway mark of the season for Lexington. In there for strike 3 called. The home plate umpire was fighting off Skeeters before that pitch was delivered, but definitely a strike there, and the side is retired. Cologne faces the minimum, 2 Ks in the inning, and after half an inning, it is the Blue Sox nothing, and the Expos coming up. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly. Made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. And this is Brady Andrews towing the rubber to start the game for the Lexington Blue Sox, making his 3rd appearance of the season. He is 1-0 with a 4 ERA in 7 innings, allowed 6 hits, 8 runs, only 4 of which are earned, walked 3 and struck out 12. Last pitch 12 days ago against the Boston Blue Jays. Got the dub in 4 innings, allowing 3 hits, 1 earned run. Did not walk anybody, struck out 9, did hit a batter though. Alex Jacques will lead things off for the Middlesex Expos. Jacques, the right fielder, playing in his 6th game and has a 778 batting average. Takes outside, ball 1. His OPS is almost 2,000 in 5 games. Could your road to the show player do that? Even in just 5? Swing and a miss, change up outside. 1-2. He is 7 for 9 with 6 runs scored, 1 double, 1 homer, 6 ribbies, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout, and 1 stolen base. Good thing no one was on base there. Nearly ricocheted right back to the catcher, Brendan Doyle, but it is 2-2. Jacques leading it off in right, followed by Melvin Jimenez at second. V. Desai is the DH. Jose Paulino is at short. Imanol Ramos is at third. Carlos Rodriguez in left. Emilio Mons at first. Yandri Rivera behind the plate. Luis Leon is the extra hitter. And Cam Jana rounds out the lineup in center. Andrews delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout for the first out of the ball game for Andrews. 1 up, 1 down. Here's the second baseman, Melvin Jimenez. It's just his 4th game. He's 4 for 7 with a double, a triple, and an RBI. Curveball misses up and away for a ball. 1-0. Chin music there and a hitter's count. This lefty-on-lefty matchup. 3-0. All over the place here, it seems, to start is Andrews. Did get the strikeout, but you are a little concerned about seeing that one go straight to the backstop. Obviously not as big a problem with nobody on base during Jacques' at-bat, but 3-0 here. And it'll be a 4-pitch walk to give the Expos a 1-out base runner. So here's former Blue Sox V. Desai, who also played professional ball at one point for the Tar Riviera Eagles of the, at least once of the Can-Am League. Forget which league they're in now, but at any rate, it is 0-1. Outside, 1-1. I got to do French baseball PA for the first time last summer. Down away. 2-1. It was bilingual. Working a game in Connecticut. We had a team from Quebec come down. Didn't do every announcement in English and French, but was able to do the positions. Read the top line. 2-2. Positions and numbers bilingually. Their uniforms, though, were black with red pinstripes, and the numbers were black with red outline. And I told my colleague from Montreal, who helped me learn to do like hockey PA bilingually, grounder to the right side, through for a base hit. A little bobble in the outfield, and that is going to allow Jimenez to get to third. So now runners at the corners with one down, and the error in the outfield allows Jimenez to get 90 feet away for the cleanup man, Jose Paulino. Paulino, 281 average with a team high 10 ribbies. Forgot to mention Desai, actually tied for second on the team in RBI with 8. He now has a team high 11 hits. Liner up the middle for a base hit and a 1-0 Expos lead. Paulino with his 11th RBI of the year. That won't end up being an unearned run. Andrews is likely, rather Jimenez is like going to come home anyways. So first and second with one out for Ramos. Ramos playing in his 6th game. He is 4 for 14 with a 929 OPS, 1 double and 2 triples. There's the Blue Sox leading the ICL in triples with 7 entering play tonight. To finish my story about the bilingual baseball announcing experience, especially considering we have the Middlesex Expos in front of us. Curveball gets in there for a strike, 1-1. I told my colleague from Montreal, who helped me with my first bilingual hockey PA script, how am I supposed to do math in the middle of these numbers? The black numbers with the red outline and black with red pinstripes. Already 20 pitches now in the inning for Andrews. That's fouled off to make it 1-2. 7 triples on the season for the Blue Sox. The Expos with 5. It's tied for third. The Bulldogs have 6. That's second. Just a little high for a ball, and it is 2-2. Now, as Americans leading the ICL with 7 home runs as a club. 2-2 with Desai at second and Paulino at first, and that is outside for a ball, a full count. The left fielder Carlos Rodriguez due up next. Well, you're going to see the runners go here on 3-2. Downstairs for a ball. And the bases are now loaded. Desai goes to third and Paulino goes to second. And the alarm bell's about to sound in the Blue Sox bullpen or whatever suffices for it. Oh yeah, is there a bullpen down the right field fence, or is it have to actually throw in foul territory? No, there's a bullpen up the third base side. That is well outside for a ball to Rodriguez. 1-0. A little bit of a disconcerting situation for Rick DeAngelis' club after got Jacques with the strikeout. Has not retired a batter since. 1-1. Rodriguez in 22 ABs has a 644 OPS, but 8 RBIs. Maybe a chance to pick one up here. And not going to happen. The fly ball's hit a little too shallow for that to be a sac fly. Holding at third is Desai. And now there are 2 down. Emilio Mons, the first baseman, will try to keep the line moving. That is downstairs for a ball, 1-0. Mons with a 381 average in 6 games. 1 home run, 4 ribbies. Swing and a miss. Pop in the mid a bit there more than we had seen this point from Andrews. That's one outside, too. 1-1. At the knees for strike 2. Well, next pitch this inning will be Andrews' 30th. Desai at third, Paulino at second, and Ramos at first. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A crowded inning, to say the least, for Andrews and the Blue Sox. But they only end up allowing the 1 run on 2 hits. And they leave the bases loaded due to the Expos. And we go to the second with Middlesex leading 1-0. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. Top of the second, Cologne faced the minimum in the top of the first, allowed the 1-out single to Landero, but he was picked off. And he'll face 4, 5, and 6 in Atiles, Corliss, and Jimenez. That's right, folks. He's back. Luis Atiles. Really the spark plug the Blue Sox needed after they were in the doldrums through the first 10 games, 5-5. Blue Sox finished the regular season after that 5-5 start. 15-0-1, and then swept their way through the postseason. Atiles in his return to the Blue Sox on Friday against Mass Envelope was 1 for 4, with a run scored in 2 Ks. Swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it off for strike 1. Atiles played in 20 games last year, had an OPS of 1143. 5 doubles, 1 very crucial home run that he delivered in the win against the Brighton Black Sox on the day of baseball. 15 ribbies, 11 walks to 7 strikeouts, and 6 steals in 7 attempts. No. 1-1. Swing and a miss at a pitch down away. Breaking ball, 1-2. Atiles didn't even play his first game with the Blue Sox until June 18th against Al Thomas. Went 0 for 2 with an RBI, and I misspoke. It wasn't Atiles' home run against the... Oh, hello! Did he get a piece of that or not? I guess he did. Still alive at 1-2, and I misspoke. The RBI against the Black Sox. Just an RBI, not a home run. His one home run came against the Bulldogs. But that was the game that started to galvanize the Blue Sox. His presence really helped bring the Blue Sox their first ICL championship since 2021. That is in there for strike 3 called. 3 strikeouts in the first 4 batters for Cologne. Last 2 looking. And there's 1 down here in the second for another recent Blue Sox returnee, Craig Corliss. Corliss has a hit in each of his first 2 games since returning to the Blue Sox and takes down and away for a ball, 1-0. He's 2 for 5 with a run scored and an RBI and a couple of walks. It's 1 for 2 with a run and a walk in the 17-4 win against Mass Envelope on Friday. Curveball missed. It is 2-0. 17 runs for the Blue Sox were the most they scored this year, and breaks the season high set against Malden in the home opener back at the end of May. Up and away. 3-0. 17 runs. Tied for the 5th most in a game by the Blue Sox in the last 20 years. First time they scored that many. That's on the outside corner for a strike, 3-1. First time they scored that many since July 25th, 2024 against the Base. That was a 20-0 victory out of West Roxbury as that bounces to the plate and Corliss is aboard. You can go back and watch that game on this here YouTube channel in these archives, and you will see exactly why the Blue Sox were able to put up a 20 spot. There were other activities going on there at that time. As such, the fences were pushed in to where it was basically 300, or I think it was less than 300 actually, down the lines, and a bunch of players hit their first career home run in that game. Almost like playing in a softball field. Something Julian Alvarez is quite familiar with, to be fair. Here's AJ. He's ahead 1-0. Swings and misses, 1-1. Jimenez playing his 12th out of possible 13 games this year. He is 10 for 38, 263, 3 doubles, and 2 ribbies. Misses, 2-1. 1 for 3 against Mass Envelope with a couple of runs and an RBI after going 0 for 5 against ADSL. The 0 for 5 against ADSL for Andy snapped a 4-game hitting streak in which he was 6 for 14, 2 runs scored. Cologne now at the 30 pitch mark. And number 31 is swung on and missed. Full count. He threw 16 in the first. And he's going to be already at 16 with his next pitch here in the second. Curveball missed. Ooh, boy. And it is now first and second on back-to-back walks for the Blue Sox. Remember, by comparison, Andrews threw 30 in the first alone. The Blue Sox have a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight. And here is Brian Acosta, the DH. Acosta's played now in all 13 games this year as a curveball misses high for ball 1. One for one with an RBI against Mass Envelope on Friday was Brian, now batting .214 with 6 ribbies this year. 3 of his 6 ribbies came in that one game against the Mad Dogs on May 29th when the Blue Sox set what was then the season high for runs in a game for them. Was eclipsed in the Mass Envelope game. So 0 for his last 11 prior to that hit against Mass Envelope was Brian, and hoping to pick up another one here and potentially tie this game. Down low, and it is 3-0. Some tough spots for the pitchers not to get calls here in the early going, but there hasn't been too much chirping from the dugouts or anyone on the field at this point. That being said, Rivero going out to have a word with his pitcher. Settle him down. It's all right. Let's get your batter. Potentially one pitch away from getting out of this. 3-0 count to Acosta. Let's see if he does the Statue of Liberty play here. Or if he's got the green light. And now time called. Acosta does have 5 steals in 6 attempts too. It's decent speed in the early go here. If has hit a ground ball made to the left side. And he does draw a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. It's not 3-1. My mistake. That was a misclick on my part with a scoreboard controller. You people mean the world to me. 3 consecutive walks by Cologne have the bases loaded for Harry Tucker. Tucker playing his 10th game with a 238, 304, 571 slash line. Skies this one into deep right center field. That goes all the way to the wall into the ivy. 1 run scores. Here comes another. They're going to put the brakes. No, he's still coming home as Acosta, and he's safe. He's safe. Wow. A bases clearing double for Harry Tucker, and the Blue Sox lead. The throw was there. I thought the tag was too, but it was not secured by Rivero. It seems Harry Tucker with a bases clearing double on the first pitch, no less. And the Blue Sox take the lead. Oh, the throw Actually hit off of Tucker as he got back to the bag, and it caromed, but not nearly far enough for him to take off for third. Everything coming up Blue Sox here in the top of the second. Vertiles went down looking. You thought that Cologne was maybe in a groove, but to no avail. Pavlik misses up and away for ball one. I think it's the first real look that Cologne has given the home plate umpire, but that's 3 RBIs on the play for Tucker after. Here's a shot down the line into the corner and right, but fouled. Too far out in front of that was Pavlik. And it'll be 1-1. Tucker had 4 RBIs on the season before that. He nearly doubled his total in one swing. His third double. Second hit in the last 2 games. That's a very good pickoff move we've seen from Cologne. He already got Landero at first in the first. Or maybe they were just late I don't know if it's that or just late reactions by the Blue Sox, but he's come close a couple of times. He misses outside again, and it is 2-1. It's now 24 pitches in the inning for Cologne. Up and in, 3-1. Pavlik playing just his second game. Both have been against the Expos. He was 0 for 3 in that one back on June 5th. Down low for a ball. Fourth walk of the inning issued by Cologne. Now time called. Company-wide meeting for the Expos. It's kind of similar start to the top of the second that we saw Brady Andrews get off to in the bottom of the first. Got the first batter and allowed the next 4 to reach. Difference is the Expos only got 1 run out of it. The Blue Sox have gotten 3 and are threatening for more, with Brendan Doyle, the catcher, and the number 10 hitter coming up here. Doyle playing in his 8th game has just 1 hit and 17 ABs. Now 1 hit coming June 2nd against the Mad Dogs. At the knees for a strike, and it is 0-1. Runners at first and second for the Blue Sox. Ooh, 0-2. Leadoff man Jake McElroy due up next. 0-2 to Doyle. Chopper to the right side and foul. Do it again at 0-2, and kind of love Blue Sox sending Luke Deschneaux out there in the first base coach's box wearing the batting helmet after Sal Mirabella got drilled by a foul line drive on Thursday night. Outside corner, strike 3 called, 2 down. 4th strikeout through an inning and 2/3 for Cologne. And the lineup turns over for Jake McElroy, who began the game striking out swinging. Strike. 0-1. Reaching for that one and fouling that one off is McElroy to fall behind 0-2. 16 pitches in the first for Cologne, 32 so far here in the second. Outside for a ball. I don't blame Rivero for freezing for a moment. Upstairs for pitch number 50 of the ball game for Cologne, and that evens the count at 2. Blue Sox all time against the Expos since they joined the ICL in 2021, 12-7-1. Lifted high into foul ground on the right side, and that'll be caught by the first baseman Mons for the out. That retires the side, but Harry Tucker's 3-run double flips things around. The Blue Sox lead 3-1 after a buck and a half. The LSP store is open. Get yourself one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Longarina, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. Scan the QR code now to buy. Bottom of the second. Here from Devlin Field at Lawrence High School in Lawrence, Mass. Yendry Rivero, Luis Leon, and Cam Jana due up for the Expos, 8, 9, and 10. Rivero playing in his 6th game of the year and takes a strike. Brady Andrews back out there for his 2nd inning of work. 3 for 8 is Rivero with 1 double and 2 ribbies, and he is behind 0-2. 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs against ADSL back on June 15th. So that misses high for a ball. 1-2. That is a foul ball on the check swing. We'll do it again at 1-2. Expos beat ADSL 19-0 back on Monday, June 15th at Town Field in Dorchester. A 9-run 6th ended that game for the Expos. Good fight here by Rivero to stay alive at 1-2. Last time out, the Expos lost to the Brighton Braves 5-3 in a home game at Eastie. A grounder to second. Haven't seen a whole lot of balls put in play for the defenses to handle in this game. But that one is handled 4-3 for out number 1. McElroy's pop-up into foul territory to end the top of the second was the first out for the Blue Sox on a ball put in play. Well, at least on a batted ball. I need to clarify if a pop-up in foul territory is technically in play, but other than that, it was 4 strikeouts and a pickoff. Curveball bounces in there for a ball. It is 1-1 of the extra hitter, Luis Leon. Leon playing in his 6th game. He is 1 for 11, but with 4 ribbies. 1 for 3 against ADSL. All 3 of those ribbies coming in that game. Had a double. This is 1 hit. He's drawn 1 walk this year and been hit by 1 pitch. But he's ahead in the count 2-1 and grounds this one foul the other way. And the Expos are 5-8, but they are only 2-5 against ICL competition. Fouled off again. Although the Expos have not been shut out at all this year. Scored at least 2 runs in every game they've played. They've scored at least 1 in every game they've played. I was looking at the wrong schedule, although it's now a full count here to Leon. You look at the ICL standings, they're 5-8 despite a plus 24 run differential. 3-2. Popped up behind us. Meanwhile, the Stoneham Sabres are above 500, 6-5-1, with a minus 11 run differential. Up and away for a ball and a walk to a man who's only had 1 this year. At least Leon only picked up his first hit his last game. So he's aboard for Cam Jana, the number 10 hitter and the center fielder. Cam's playing in his 6th game. He's 4 for 8 with 3 runs scored and 3 walks. Gets a bunt up the third base line, barehanded by Atiles. And they're not going to get Leon rounding second, trying to shotgun it for third. He'll just get there. Stay at second on the sac bunt. Luis Atiles, welcome back. Two down. Lineup turns over for Alex Jacques, who struck out swinging his first time up. And that hits the down and in corner for strike 1, 0-1. Considerable lead over there at second as that's fouled off for strike 2. Considerable lead over there at second for Leon. They're clearly not concerned about him running. Just want Andrews to get your ender here. An 0-2 count to the leadoff man, Jacques. Grounds this one up the third baseline, foul to keep it at 0-2. It's only the second time Jacques has struck out this year. The strikeout leading off the bottom of the first. The last time was against ADSL on June 15th. Able to hold up on the pitch outside, and it's 1-2. Getting dangerously close to both pitchers being at 50-plus pitches through 2 innings. But let's see if Andrews can keep a lid on that here at 1-2 with 2 down in the bottom of the second. Not going to happen. Unless he somehow picks off Leon, which does not seem to be a priority for the Blue Sox defense here. Pitch number 50 from Andrews coming up. Lined into center field and down for a base hit. They're going to put the brakes on Leone at third. And runners are at the corners with 2 down for Melvin Jimenez. Base hit for Jacques. He's now 1 for 2. And Jimenez walked and scored his first time up. Skies this one into left center field, but that will be hauled in for the out that retires the side by Pat Casserly. Through 2 complete, still 3-1 Blue Sox. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Find your subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. PayPal and Creator Spring, LSP 37. All the cool kids are doing it. And we go to the top of the third with the Blue Sox leading 3-1. The difference being a bases clearing double by Harry Tucker in the top of the second. Landero, Casserly, and Atiles due up here in the top of the third. And those are the 3 men who made the plays to get the outs in the bottom of the second. Funny how baseball works like that, right? Landero had a base hit his first time up, but then was picked off. In a scoreless top of the first for the Blue Sox offense. Colon bounces that one for ball 1. 2 other games on the ICL schedule today. They both had 5 o'clock first pitches, and the one that we do have reported here is of great interest to the Blue Sox because the Andre Chiefs lost to the Lexington Bulldogs 7-4. So the Blue Sox, who already currently hold the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Chiefs, a win here will put them in first place in the ICL. As that is lined down the left field line, that is a fair ball. Into the corner. Landero's on his way to second with a leadoff double. The first time the Blue Sox have gotten the leadoff man on in this game. So here is Casserly. Again, had that big game last time against Mass Envelope. 5 RBIs, tied for the 5th most in a game for the Blue Sox in the last 21 seasons. 20 seasons, I guess. Take out, obviously, the COVID year. Struck out looking his first time up to end the first and looking for an RBI here. Smokes this one into right center field, and that will get down for a base hit. Landero will put the brakes on, and it's runners at the corners. And we already had a close call on Tuck's double last inning. I don't want to assume you'll get so lucky here because that ball held up for a long time. There's a very good chance for either Jacques or Jaina to catch up on that one. Then it finally died, and by the time you could get to even third safely if you were Landero, it was too late to get home. That is in the dirt for ball 1. to Luisa Tiles, who had that fine barehanded play on the sack bunt by Jaina for the second out. Of the bottom of the second. Grounds this one to the right side. Only play will be to first. It's an RBI ground out. To second goes Casserly. Landeros scores. One out, a runner at second, and a 4-1 Blue Sox lead. Runner in scoring position for Craig Corliss, who walked and scored his first time up. A ball. 1-0. Seeing the home plate umpire swiping mosquitoes away a handful of times in this game. It's not nearly as bad as it is at the Swamp at LHS. Still present, though. Hitters count to Corliss. Curveball right there for him, but decided to lay it off, and it is 2-1. Time called because I believe Craig just got a skeeter in his eye. "4-1 is our score. Blue Sox on top of the Expos in the top of the third here at Lawrence High. Fouled off the other way, 2-2. Another one on a platter for him. A fastball this time, and couldn't catch up to it. At least not in time to put it in play. That bounces to the plate. No advance by the runner at second, Casserly, and it is a full count with Jimenez due up next. Mentioning the Andre Chiefs result earlier today, losing to the Lexington Bulldogs. So a win here by the Blue Sox would give them first place at this point in the ICL season outright as another pickoff attempt, but not in time this time. A tie would give the Blue Sox first place for now in the tiebreaker, the head-to-head. Win gives it to them outright. Driven the other way to right, back at the wall towards the ivy. That is caught. Hung up a bit too long, couldn't make it all the way there. It's 325 down the line and right. That is a good piece the other way by Corliss. Alas, it is out number 2, but Casserly does get to third. So a winner or tie would have the Blue Sox back in first place and increases the stakes that much more for the Blue Sox and Chiefs. A pickoff to third this time. That's the first time I've seen a true pickoff to third. Jimenez into the gap in left center field. That'll get down for a base hit and an RBI, and AJ will hold at first with a single to make it 5-1. Brian Acosta to the plate, walked and scored his first time up. And takes a strike, 0-1. Acosta, again, for as wonky as the strike zone looks from this perspective, there haven't been too many complaints from the teams, and I guess that's why I'm back here, right? Mistake is not 1-1, it is 2-2. 2 more runs home in the inning on 3 hits for the Blue Sox. Oof. Stays 0-2 as that took a chunk out of Andrew Rivera behind the plate. Again, the Blue Sox and Chiefs Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on this here YouTube channel with first place, even if the Blue Sox lose tonight, on the line. This game marks the halfway point of the Blue Sox season. Remember, at 10 games last year, they were 5-5 and then did not lose at all for the rest of 2025 and didn't even lose again until the fourth game of the year this year against the Melrose Americans, who incidentally were the last ICL team to beat the Blue Sox before they went on that winning streak. There was a loss to the Brighton Braves in between. A swing and a miss for strike 3, and the side is retired, but the Blue Sox extend the lead with 2 more runs on 3 more hits, and they lead 5-1 after 2.5. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in card. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly. Made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. It's going to be a hot one this week in the Boston area. There's an excessive heat warning starting Wednesday morning, and it extends through Friday night. And that does make me wonder how much it will affect the Blue Sox game against the Lexington Bulldogs on Wednesday. That's going to be a road game for the Blue Sox. And the Bulldogs typically have 7 p.m. first pitches for their home games. So it's going to be that much hotter than it is at the usual Blue Sox first pitch start time of 8. Would the town of Lexington even let it happen is my question, if they consider the heat, a health or a safety hazard. Well, no use in speculating now as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And it is V. Desai leading things off. And, for everything I've said about the mosquitoes being not as much of a problem here, although being present as they are at LHS, I don't remember seeing very many batters at LHS have to call time to get bugs out of their eyes. A lot worse for the players here, I guess, than at LHS. Behind the backstop where we set up LHS, a lot worse than it is here. We're on top of concrete setting up. Obviously, you're not going to play baseball on concrete. You could if you weren't a coward, I guess. It is 3-1 to Desai. Takes a strike to fill the count. Andrews still out there, 3-2. Outside corner, strike 3 called. 3rd strikeout for Andrews. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Jose Paulino, RBI single, his first time up for the only run so far of the game for the Expos. A strike. It is 0-1. That's the most animated reaction I've seen so far from either team to a strike call. Paulino clearly not happy about that one. Fouls that one off. We're in the bottom of the third, and both starting pitchers now to the 60-pitch threshold. Oofa. Look good on the fastball, the inside corner, but it is now 1-2. Maybe a little bit of a makeup call there, but you want to get that, obviously, if you're Andrews. I don't know, maybe the count is right now at this point, all things considered. 2-2. Andrews working kind of quickly here. Lined, and that is a foul ball. We'll do it again at 2-2. One other 5 o'clock start time today in the ICL was Malden at Stoneham. And Sunday afternoon, Sunday hardcore matinees are the only true home games the Sabres can play in Stoneham because Recreation Park does not have lights. Towering pop-up on the right side of the infield, behind the infield dirt, and oh my goodness! Courtesy war between Landero and Pavlik. It was initially Pavlik. Landero, I think Pavlik thought Landero called him off. And then Pavlik came all the way back in front of Landero after he was close to the line. Well, whatever gets the out, right? Don't complain about the method, just as long as you get the result, right? Oh, boy. After all that, is 1-0 to Ramos. Or gets the job done, I guess. Line left side. T-Lace isn't going to make the play there. It is a 2-out single for Ramos, and he is aboard for the second time after a walk his first time up. So let's see what Carlos Rodriguez can do. He's the second out of the first inning after the Expos had loaded the bases. And he takes a strike. 0-1. 5-1 is our score. Blue Sox on top of the Expos. Here in the bottom of the third. So, get him, or it's just is that a foul ball off the bat? Must be a foul ball because he's not going up there to first base. Second time we've seen pitch come in hot on a batter only to get the bat and have it be a foul ball strike. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3 called, and the side is retired. Andrews with 2 Ks in the inning, up to 4 now on the game, and we are through 3, and it's still 5-1 Blue Sox. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot. Whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach, email yours truly for all the deets. Top of the fourth. And Harry Tucker, whose double back in the second is the difference right now in this game. We'll lead things off. 8, 9, and 10 due up for the Blue Sox. Tucker, Pavlik, and Doyle. Blue Sox have 5 runs on 5 hits, plus 4 walks. Both pitchers at 69 pitches through the first 3 innings, and you didn't think it was going to be like that. The way this started with Andrews firing 30 bullets and allowing a run in the first, while Cologne only needed 16 to face the minimum. But now here we are at 2-0 to Tucker, leading things off. Two and one. Tucker with the 3-run double after Corliss, Jimenez, and Acosta all walked in front of him. Boink. 3 and 1. It was nearly only a 2-run double. As Acosta ran through the stop sign, but it was able to score because the catcher Rivero did not hang on to the ball after the throw came in on time. It's now a full count to Tucker, who grounds this one left side and through for his second hit of the ball game. Leadoff man aboard. The second consecutive inning for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox have 6 hits at this point, and Tuck has 2 of them. Going to try and bunt here. They do get it down in front of the pitcher. Only play will be to first. It is a successful sacrifice by Max Pavlik. Tuck gets into scoring position with now 1 down. And Brendan Doyle will come to bat. My voice is cracking. Struck out looking his first time up in the second. Hoping to put something in play here. Base hit back up the box should do the trick if he can. Runner in scoring position and 1 down here at the top of the 4th. And, oh, my goodness, that was a bad read by Tuck. He got frozen trying to follow the ball and could not take off for third. By the time Rivero corralled it as it kicked all the way over towards the Blue Sox dugout. So, again, tough break there for Tuck. He knew it, too. But Doyle is ahead in the count, 1-0. Now he's ahead 2-0. I've seen you get to third on that one if you are Tucker. More ways for Doyle to drive you in. Hits the inside corner for a strike, 2-1. You don't want to see another one go to the backstop and wish you were already back in the dugout with a 6-1 lead, obviously. 2-1, though, here to Doyle. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-2. 16 pitches in the first inning for Cologne. He is now at 80 with 1 out in the 4th. 2-2. Grounder over towards the Blue Sox dugout. Do it again at 2-2. Got him. Doyle down on strikes for the second time. 2 down as the lineup turns over for McElroy. McElroy trying to get off the schneid here. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop up to first. Tucker getting a decent lead here at second rather. And that's in there for a strike, 0-1 to McElroy. Popped up to the first baseman in foul territory to end the 3-run second. Skies this one into center field, and he caught it! Reaching up over the shoulder, Cam Jana for a critical out number 3 there. It remains 5-1 Blue Sox, halfway home. The LSP store is open. Get yourself one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. Scan the QR code on the screen now to buy. Andrews was doing basically karaoke's on his way out of the dugout, out to the mound here for this bottom of the 4th. The way McElroy reacted after hitting that one sounded like he thought he got under it too much. But it took off a bit. Almost got past Jana. At least been a double at that point for Mac. Alas, it was a long fly ball. The Blue Sox could not do anything with the leadoff single by Tuck, and then the sac bunt that got him to second. Bottom of the 4th, and 7-8-9 due up for the Expos here. Mons leading things off, swings at the first pitch, and fouls it off for strike 1. Now at 70 pitches is Andrews, and he's had the opposite trajectory of his pitch count since the first that Cologne did. Threw 30 bullets in the first, and then 39 through the next 2. 68 pitches in the last 3 innings, though, by Cologne. 2-1 count to Mons, who struck out swinging his first time up. That was the second strikeout of the game for Andrews. Broken bat, ground ball, fair ball, off balance throw, Luis Atiles. 1 down. Off balance, going into foul territory on top of that. Dude's good. Second bonkers defensive plays made tonight. Here's Rivero. Down and away for a ball. Fastball on the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Fly ball into right, and able to haul that one in with a little bit of a plie is the right fielder Tucker for out number 2. Looked like he was settled under it, and then he had to actually take a step in on his tippy toes to make sure he got that. So 2 up and 2 down as Rivero's now 0 for 2, and here is Leon, who drew a walk his first time up back in the second. Into the right center field gap. That'll get down for a base hit. He takes the turn at first and then puts on the brakes after the strong throw by Jake McElroy. Leon is aboard for the second time. Again, this is a dude who only picked up his first hit of the year in his last game. Two-out base runner for Jaina. He's not going to be sacrificing this time as he takes high for a ball. 1-0. Now he's ahead 2-0. In there for a strike. 2-1. Andrews' pace has picked up considerably here as the game has gone on. That goes up and in for a ball, and it's 3-1 with the leadoff man Jacques due up next. Oh! Well, it's going to be ball 4 anyway, if you want to look at it that way. So first and second now to the first two were retired. Pat McGowan can't come out of the dugout fast enough. Settle your pitcher down. Worry about your ender here. You got 2 outs. You also know you got the force at any base. And even on a smash, you got a very capable man at the hot corner to haul it in and maybe tag the bag there. Or if he has to throw across the diamond, you know he's got a gun there too. So the lap turns over for the right fielder Alex Jacques, who struck out swinging in the first, had a base hit back at the second. It's 1 for 2. He's got 2 runners on in front of him in a 4-run game. Down low for a ball, and it is 1-0. For Jacques, you don't even have to worry about getting an RBI here. Just get on base any way you can. The tying run is in the on-deck circle. First 2 are retired, Mons and Rivero on a ground out to third and a fly out to right, and then Leon singles. Jansen gets plunked, fly ball into center, run down for the out that retires the side, Jake McElroy. And the Expos leave 2, and we go to the 5th. Blue Sox still leading 5-1. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. Exclusive spring store codes for free shipping and 10% off your purchase right now when you join. And PayPal Career Spring LSP 37. It's the right thing to do. Sorry, we had some folks with their car lights on before we could start the top of the fifth directly behind the backstop. You think it's bad? The lights down right field in the corner at LHS. We don't have parking spots directly behind the backstop at LHS. Also got that mesh wall. You didn't used to be covered in that mesh. Still can be a problem with these LED headlights. Frank Landero ahead in the count, 2-0, 2 for 2 on the day, single and a double. Halfway to the natural cycle if he can pull that one off. Cass last time, home run short of the cycle. Bounces to the plate. 3-1 count to Frank will be followed by Cass, and then Luis Atiles. Anyone gets on, Craig Corliss. Top of the fifth, 3-1. 5-1 is the score. 3-1 is the count. And now Frank reaches for the third time in as many plate appearances. Means 2 for 2 now with a walk. And here's Cass. Strikeout looking in the first. Single run scored in the third. 1 for 2. Landero was picked off earlier in the game. See if he thinks about running here. Pitches a strike to Casserly, 0-1. Long set here by Cologne, and granted time at the last split second was Casserly. One and one. Here's action in the Expos bullpen. There started to be action in the first inning, too, for the Blue Sox, but Brady Andrews, kudos to him, settling things down. Off of first did go Landero, now back towards the Blue Sox. He dropped it. Mons dropped it in front of the Blue Sox dugout, and remaining alive here is Casserly now at 1-2. So reprieve there for Cass. A little worried there because Landero was a ways off of first, the point where Mons could have made that catch. Pickoff. I have never, I've seen multiple pickoffs in 1AB a couple times in a handful of games. I've never seen as many pickoffs by one pitcher in one game as I've seen from Cologne, and Landero is safe. A stolen base for Landero on a pitch that was a ball. Believe he's safe. Pitch was a ball, 2-2. Now Landero's getting time. They kept the tag on him for a while. Oh my goodness, is Landero hurt though, is the question, because Rick DeAngelis is coming out from the third base coach's box to come out to Landero, but Landero waves him off when Rick gets halfway there. So a stolen base for Landero. This is 5th of the year now, unless I'm mistaken. And a runner in scoring position for Pat Casserly. That is his 5th in as many attempts. He had 3 in his first 2 games, but didn't have another one until the last game against Mass Envelope. And now he's got steals in back-to-back games. And again, a runner in scoring position for Cass on a 2-2 count with nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Cologne with a long look at second and comes home with it and gets the swing and miss for strike 3. Cass is down on strikes for the second time. First time was looking, this one swinging. One down now for Luis Atiles, who has certainly impacted this game with his glove. Now let's see if he can do it with his bat. He already does have one RBI and has ground out to second. That brought home Landero back in the third. Now hoping to get a base hit here. That is on the outside corner for strike one. 0-1 to Atiles. Creeping up near the 100-pitch mark is Colon. Steps off and looks Landero back. Seven strikeouts through 4 1/3 for Colon. Lined into right field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Landero's around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It'll be cut off. RBI single for Luis Atiles. It is 6-1. So 2 ribbies for Luis in his second game back with the Blue Sox. Landero scores, and that is going to do it for Juan Angel Colon. Tell you about the new whip for the Expos after this. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in card. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. New noodle for the Middlesex Expos is the right-hander Will Wright. Takes over after 4 1/3 from Angel Colon. Ends up striking out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but concedes 6 runs on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Make sure I got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 7 hits. Most critically, 5 walks. And he is still responsible for Atiles at first. Does that on 95 pitches, and he is on the hook for the L unless the Expos can come back. Craig Corliss will be Will Wright's first assignment. It's 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored in the second and a fly out to right in the third. Atiles, a very good runner. He's got bluff on the first pitch. Doesn't end up going. And it's in there for a strike. 0-1. I mentioned his numbers from last year, Atiles. pickoff attempt. That's been the theme of the day from the Expo from Cologne. Now continues here with Will Wright. Luis was 6 out of 7 in stolen base attempts last year. That is down low for a ball. 3 of his 6 steals came in a single game against Palmer on June 27th. Again, bluffs. Curveball misses upstairs, and it is 2-1. Blue Sox are in the middle of the pack in stolen bases this year in the ICL. They have 23. Down to the backstop. Ricochets back to the catcher Rivero, and the wild pitch puts Luis in scoring position. Chris Del Sordo is going to be like a kid in a candy store the next time he sees Luis. I just know it. Instant fan with his performance last year. Who wouldn't be if you're a Blue Sox fan, right? 5-pitch walk on the first batter that Wright faces. Corliss draws his second base on balls of the ball game. And now it'll be Jimenez. Walked and scored in the second, and an RBI single in the third. His single made it 5-1 as he brought in Cass. Now he's got a chance to make it 6-1 with a base hit. Maybe even more if he can find a gap. Get it into left field. That's going to be worth something, certainly. Around third comes Atiles. Corliss will hold it second. Jimenez with his second RBI single of the ball game, and it is 7-1. Wright allows a 5-pitch walk, then a first-pitch single to the first 2 batters he faces. And now Brian Acosta walked and scored in the second. Struck out swinging in the third. Swings over the top of a curveball for strike 1. Jimenez becomes the third player in the Blue Sox lineup today with multiple hits, joining Tucker and Landero. Landero has reached all 3 times, as has Jimenez, with 2 hits and a walk. Fouls that one off the other way and out of play does Acosta, and it's 1-2. We're at the 1 hour and 35-minute mark of this ball game. We started at 8:01, and it looked like a pretty good start for the Expos, as Cologne got the minimum in the top of the first, and now time granted. And Andrews needed 30 to get through the first, but it ended up allowing just the 1 run. The Blue Sox flipped the script very next half inning, thanks to a 3-run double by Harry Tucker, as that's down low for ball 2. Or no, it is not. A bit of a delayed call there, I think, for the home plate umpire, but that is, in fact, strike 3. It did look a little bit low, but my mistake. 2 down. It's not actually 7-4. That's me being stupid with the keypad here on the scorebug controller, but Acosta's down on strikes for the second time. 2 down now for Tucker. 2 for 2, 3-run double in the second, as I just mentioned, and a single in the fourth. And he takes a curveball on the outside corner for strike 1. Top of the 5th of a 7-1 ball game, 7 unanswered by the Blue Sox after that 30-pitch inning by Andrews in the bottom of the first, in which the Expos could only get 1 run. They loaded the bases with 1 out, 4 consecutive guys reached. Then Rodriguez flew out to left, and Mon struck out swinging to end the bottom of the first. And after a 30-pitch first inning for Andrews, 55 through the next 3. Not sure if Wright is favoring something there, the way he came off and basically hopped at the end of his delivery. Tuck is ahead in the count here, 2-1. Check swing, he went around, says the home plate umpire, 2-2. Corliss at second and Jimenez at first on a 2-2 pitch. Forthcoming to Harry Tucker, who hits a little nubber in front of the mound. Throw on to first is in time for the out. That retire the side. The Blue Sox extend the lead with 2 more runs on 2 more hits. They leave 2 and lead 7-1 after 4.5. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot. Whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach, email yours truly for all the deets. And don't you worry, Haley, I fixed that. New whip for the Blue Sox is Luke Deschanel after a phenomenal performance the last 3 innings after that rocky start in the first by Brady Andrews. Two, 3, and 4 due up here for the Expos in the bottom of the 5th as Deschanel misses low for ball 1 to Malvin Jimenez. Scored the only run in this game so far for the Expos. Pop up into the Bermuda Triangle in left center field and a late turn on it, but able to haul that one in is Cass for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down. Deschanel making just his 2nd appearance of the year. Gets a strike 0-1. First since June 10th against TJO. I'm going 2 innings in that, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run with 1 walk and 2 Ks. Outside for a ball. Fouled off the other way. This is Luke's first career appearance in the regular season anyways, against the Middlesex Expos. On August 11th, 2024, went 2 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, no Ks. He's faring a lot better here. His first regular season appearance, as it's another fly out to Casterly and left for out number 2. Desai retired. He's now 1 for 3. And it will be up to the shortstop, Jose Paulino, to keep the line moving. Paulino 1 for 2 so far, the single and a pop-up to third. Oh and 1 is the count. In the top of the 6th, the Blue Sox will have 9, 10, and 1 due up. Pavlik, Doyle, and McElroy. Curveball gets in there for a strike. 1 and 2. Blue Sox with a win would reclaim first place in the ICL standings ahead of their big matchup with the Andre Chiefs on Tuesday night. But easy peasy 1-2-3-zy for Luke Deschanel and the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 5th. The LSP store is open. Get yourself one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, T in the Long Arena, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. Email yours truly, well, excuse me, wrong one. Scan the QR code to buy. Another new whip for the Middlesex Expos, and it will be the left-hander Brent Somerton. He's making his 3rd appearance of the year. 1 and 1 with a 3.71 ERA. In 5 2/3, he's allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 of which are earned. Walked 8 and struck out 6. Last pitch on the 12th against Palmer. Got the dub in 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Walked 5 and struck out 3. Do want to offer the caveat, though, that a lot of the numbers I've been giving you about the Expos do not reflect the last handful of games they've played. Been tell me about the stuff they've been uploading to Game Changer, but I just have what I have. I mean, obviously I can get it off Game Changer, but a little crunch for time sometimes, and just getting what I have on 400 hitter. But at any rate, it's not like they've played a whole lot of games since the last one that they have uploaded. Let's be honest. It's not their fault. It's not anyone's fault. Had a good number of games rained out a week and a half ago. It's 1-0 to Max Pavlik. Start the top of the sixth. Pavlik comes up empty, can't catch up to the fastball, and is 1-1. Pavlik has no official AB in this game. He walked in the second and laid down a sac bunt in the fourth. Both of those were against Angel Cologne. Good fastball from Somerton, and it is 1-2. Lean on that, why don't you, right? Somerton peering over the glove, the full windup from the lefty. Up and in for a ball. And it is 2-2. So again, it's Pavlik, Doyle, and McElroy due up here in the top of the sixth. And if anyone gets on, Frank Landero. Curveball on the outside corner, strike three called. 1 up, 1 down as Pavlik goes down on strikes. First time in his first official AB in this game. And now here is Doyle hoping to avoid the hat trick. Struck out looking in the second and swinging in the fourth. Again, both against Cologne. That was one of second out of the fourth, last full inning that Cologne completed. I don't mean to have all this alliteration. And those of you aspiring broadcasters out there, I mean, they tell you the same thing if you're a writer. Always avoid alliteration. Like, even if it isn't your typical tongue twister, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I did it! Didn't do it 3 times fast, though. It just sounds weird. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound natural. Or if it does, well, it could sound natural, but it's difficult to say aloud or hear. Unless you're using it as like a, basically you shouldn't lean on alliteration in your writing or your speaking. Fouled off, and it's still 1-2. Especially if you're a TV presenter, reading that can cause you to fumble. Reading that off a teleprompter can cause you to fumble. And that can be an issue for, your credibility, shockingly enough, even if you are 100% telling the truth. A certain level of professionalism that people start to question. Doyle goes down looking. He's down strikes for the third time tonight, as many at-bats. And the lineup turns over for Jake McElroy, looking for base hit or any way to get on base for the first time himself. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a pop up to first, and a fly out to center. Everyone else, 2 through 9 in the Blue Sox order, has reached base at least once. For whatever reason, not number 1 and not number 10. Outside with the curveball, 1-1. In the bottom of the sixth, the Expos will have 5, 6, and 7 due up. Ramos, Rodriguez, and Mons. That one got Mac's attention. And it is 1-2. Bounces to the plate. 2-2. Considerable crowd here earlier that have dispersed or gone home in the last couple of innings. Some of them recording some of their friends or families, ABs, because we're all Expos fans. But 7-1 Blue Sox as that fastball misses just upstairs. And it is a full count to Mac with Landero due up next. Top of the 6th, and we are at the 1 hour, 51 minute mark of this ball game. Payoff pitch, here it is. Lined into right field and down for a base hit. You know, I've noticed that a couple of times here. That Alex Jacques in right field has been trying to use something of a deke move to try and freeze runners in this game. It didn't work on Landero when he came around to score last time. I don't know why you would. If you do that little deke, maybe you get McElroy to hold up, and then you could get the dreaded 9-3 force, but not going to happen there. Mac picks up his first base hit. Now here's Landero trying to get on base for the 4th time in as many PAs. Single in the 1st, double and a run scored in the 3rd, walk, a steal, and a run scored in the 5th. He is ahead in the count, 1-0, as the Skeeters are starting to eat at me now. Wasn't so bad earlier in the game, but clearly something has shifted. Just me being stinky. 2-0. Three and 0. Taken down the pipe for a strike on the fastball. 3-1. By the way, Haley, there's really no need to delete those messages. Don't be embarrassed. Don't worry about it. I'm the one who should be embarrassed about not having the score right. 1st and 2nd. After the walk drawn by Landero, a perfect day at the plate for Frank. And now here is Casserly. 1 for 3. Strikeout looking in the 1st. Base hit and run scored in the 3rd. Strikeout swinging in the 5th. Curveball stays up and out of the zone for ball 1. Fouled off into the screen, and that'll even the count at 1. It was a good start to the inning, certainly, by Somerton. Getting the first 2 batters on strikes. Looking each time, in fact, but then the single by McElroy, 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, 1-2-3, and then the walk to Landero. And now it's a hitter's count, 2-1 to Cass. Looks at second, does Somerton, and the pitch. Missed inside. 3-1. Fouled off, and it'll be a full count. So, gentlemen, start your engines. With McElroy about to take off from second and Landero from first on this 3-2 pitch. With 2 down in the top of the 6th. A 7-1 lead for the Blue Sox. Payoff pitch. Somerton comes set. And here it is. Curveball fouled the other way. Right there waiting for him. I think that got a bit too far in on the hands. was a little bit late too, but get the barrel out in front just a little bit more. And with the first baseman, Mons, playing well off the line, that is probably going to be at least a single. You probably have runners at the corners. Maybe two if you can get all the way down the line. 3-2 again. Outside for ball four. Somerton cannot believe it. Whether it's because of the call or because he wasn't able to put him away. That is 3 consecutive 2-out base runners, 2 consecutive walks, and now it's Luis Atiles. Struck out looking in the second, RBI ground out in the third, RBI single and a run scored in the fifth. This is the third different pitcher he's facing. Excuse me, second. He's the last one that Cologne faced. 0-1 is the count. Bases full of Blue Sox. Fouled into the screen, 0-2. 30 pitches in the inning for Somerton. And again, you got the first two, Pavlik and Doyle, on strikeouts looking. And a single by McElroy on a 3-2 count. Landero walks. Casserly walks on a 3-2. He's got 2 strikes on Atiles. Let's see what he can do. Lined into center field and caught for the out. That retires the side. A sigh of relief there for Somerton and the Expos. But still 7-1 Blue Sox going to the bottom of the 6th. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash subscribe button. Membership's also available for $5 a month. New members get an exclusive discount code for free shipping or 10% off your order. Actually, get both codes at the LSP Spring Store. Oh yeah, PayPal Curry Spring LSP 37. It tastes great on a cracker. Luke Deschanel back out there for his second inning of work as the Blue Sox are 6 defensive outs away from a second consecutive win. 5 points in their last 6 games and first place in the ICL ahead of their matchup with Andre on Tuesday. Just at the 2-hour mark of this one, Ramos, Rodriguez, and Mons due up as Luke misses low for ball 1. Ramos has been on base twice tonight in 2 plate appearances, walk in the first and single in the third. Takes a strike on number 13's 13th pitch of the game. 1-1. Ramos is one of 2 players to get on base twice tonight, as that's chopped to Atiles. Oh, that throw goes offline. It's one hop the first baseman, Pavlik, and into second is Ramos. Boy, Atiles with a couple of Gold Glove plays earlier in the game, but this one ends up being an error that puts a runner in scoring position. So Ramos, although it will put him at 1 for 2, is on board for the 3rd time. He's one of 2 Expos to reach base twice tonight. The other is Luis Leon, but He's due up 5th this inning. Still ways to get to him. Here's Rodriguez, who flew out to left in the first and struck out looking in the third. So I'm sure he's happy to see Andrews go. Count is 1-1 to Carlos. So Ramos at second after the error by Atiles, first error of the game for the Blue Sox. Grounder to the left side, Jimenez. It's under that one a little more. One down, a runner 90 feet away. Here's Mons. 0 for 2 with a strikeout swinging and a ground out to third. It was Andrews for the first 4, and he threw 30 pitches in the first inning. Out 1 run as Dash blows a fastball by him. 0-1. Threw 30 pitches in that first inning, allowed 2 singles and 2 walks, 1 run. And I misspoke. It was actually the second error of the game by the Blue Sox. The first one was by Tucker and allowed Jimenez to get to third back in the first inning. But 2 singles and 2 walks and 1 run the first, and then basically nothing for the next 3 innings. Here's a grounder to third. Atiles got the runner in a pickle, and they got him on the tag. Heads up play there by Atiles. Looked the runner, thought he was going to freeze him. Instead of taking the play at first, conceding the run, does end up getting the 5-2 fielder's choice. So instead of bases empty, 2 down, and a 7-2 ball game, it's runner at first, 2 down. It's still a 7-1 ball game. Great play by Luis. Oh, and 1 is the count to Yandry Rivero. It's 0 for 2 with a ground out to second, a fly out to right. Check swing, that's down and away for a ball. Appeal says no. In the top of the 7th, the Blue Sox will have Corliss, Jimenez, and Acosta due up. Fouled off the other way. 1-2. It's a perfectly reasonable play to just go to first and take the out and still be up 5 with 4 defensive outs to get. That's actually a much higher risk play, all things considered, to try and get the runner coming home. But Atiles made it, and in the end, the Expos come up empty as Deschanel gets the strikeout on Rivero, and we go to the 7th. It is still 7-1 Blue Sox. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in card. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the link and codes on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. Somerton back out there for his second inning of work as we go to the top of the 7th. And the Blue Sox 3 defensive outs away from another win. It would be the first team in the ICL to 9 wins after the Chiefs lost to the Bulldogs earlier today. That puts the Bulldogs at 8 wins. Chiefs still ahead on points percentage. Bulldogs and Chiefs both at the halfway mark now, and Chiefs at 18 points, the Bulldogs at 16. The Blue Sox currently first in the ICL after that Chiefs-Bulldogs game by points percentage, 1 point behind the Chiefs, but assuming they pick up 1 or even 2 here, they will be in first place regardless. 1 game, half a game up on Andre, but of course owning the tiebreaker so far, having won the first meeting of the season against Andre back on the day of baseball. So important for the Chiefs. Try and recover and pick up the dub against the Blue Sox on Tuesday. Flip the standings around again, potentially. Somerton back out there. And the first pitch to Corliss. It's in there for strike, 0-1. Craig's 0 for 1, couple of walks, fly out to right, run scored. Curveball misses up. 1-1. Blue Sox have the Chiefs on Tuesday, the Bulldogs on Wednesday, and then they are off until the following Wednesday against the Chiefs. And that will wrap up the season series against Andre, too. All 3 games being played at LHS because Andre's home game was at the day of baseball. Limited opportunities to use Maplewood this year. I had mentioned the 1 game we did at Maplewood this year against the Mad Dogs. It's closing at the end of this month for renovations. However, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who would say this, if we never played another, if the ICL as a whole never played another game at Maplewood, I would be so happy. Bit of a drag to get to in the first place. The league is kind of weirdly spread out with like home fields and everything. Pitch goes to the backstop, and that will put Corliss at second on the wild pitch. Corliss drawing his 3rd walk of the game. What does he do? Gets on base. And Jimenez with a chance to keep his perfect day at the plate alive. Walked and scored in the 2nd. RBI single in the 3rd. RBI single in the 5th. Faced all 3 pitchers the Expos have trotted out there today. Coming in hot. 2-0. When the Lexington Bulldogs were still the Reading Bulldogs, they ended up playing a good number of home games at Endicott in Beverly. And like even when the Wakefield Merchants were still in the league, that is still a ways up 128 as opposed to 95 from Wakefield. Towering pop-up on the infield. Corliss walks back to second and watches the second baseman, Jimenez, retire Jimenez for out number 1. Jimenez, Mueller. Here's Acosta. 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and a couple of strikeouts. Strike 1. Are you really the Middlesex Expos, though, if you play a game in Suffolk County? Foul ball 0-2, as is the case when the Expos play home games at East Boston Stadium. Not too far from Logan Airport. These teams play their 3 games this regular season in 3 different stadiums. Already had the game at LHS, Lexington High. Here's another LHS, Lawrence High. And that'll be East Boston Stadium to close out the season for both teams. Fly ball into center, hauled in for out number 2 by Jaina. So Acosta is 0 for 3. Puts one in play for the first time, though. And now here is Harry Tucker. Delivered the biggest hit of the game quite early. But boy, was it a momentum shift. 3-run double in the second. Down low for a ball, 1-0. In the bottom of the 7th, the Expos will have Leon, Jaina, and Jacques, 9-10-1, due up. Up and away for a ball, 2-0. Remember that Cologne faced the minimum in the top of the first, allowed the single to Landero, but picked him off. And around that, struck out McElroy and Casserly. They got Atiles looking. That was after the bottom of the first, in which Andrews threw 30 pitches, 2 singles, 2 walks, but only allowed the 1 run. And then Corliss, Jimenez, and Acosta all walked. And then the double by Tucker. Gave the Blue Sox a lead that they have not relinquished. And now Tucker gets on base via the base on balls, his first walk. Been on base 3 times today. Here is Max Pavlik. Walk in the second, sack bunt in the 4th, strikeout looking in the 6th. He was the first batter, in fact, that Somerton faced last inning, starting his outing. And he gets ahead of Pavlik, 0-1. 1-1 with a high fastball. Again, Andrews threw 30 pitches in that first inning, then threw 55 the following 3 innings over that course. 2 walks and 2 singles in the first, and then allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, and 1 hit batsman over the final 3 innings he worked. Great recovery, absolutely, by Andrews, and he is in a line for the win if the Blue Sox hold this score here. Two and two. Curveball on the outside corner for strike 3. Ends the inning, but in the process, the Blue Sox are in their 10th walk of the game in that inning, and that gives them back-to-back games with double-digit walks. What do the Blue Sox do? They get on base, and now they're going to the bottom of the 7th. Closing time up 7-1. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. Bottom of the 7th, Luke Deschanel hoping to finish this one off. If he does, he'll be credited with a save because, yes, you can have a save. Even when you're up 6, you pitch the final 3, even if it's 30-3, like that one game in 2007 when the Rangers set the American League record for runs in a game. The Rangers pitcher that finished the game still got a save because he went the last 3 innings full. And if Luke does complete this inning and the Blue Sox win, so we don't go to extras, that is, it'll be the Blue Sox' second 3-inning save of the year. First things first, Luis León trying to get on base for the 3rd time in as many tries. 1-1 is the count. 1-for-1 is León's line. Walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. That single is the last Expos hit. Backhand stop by Jimenez. Oh, so close, but that is going to be León's 2nd hit of the ball game. The first hit for the Expos since his hit in the 4th, 3 innings later. So he's 2 for 2, and now here is Cam Jana, who does not just pitching the shields to Harvey the Rabbit over there in the first base coach's box. Jana checks his swing, and that's a ball, 1-0. He has no official AB in this game. He laid down a sac bunt in the 2nd and was plunked on what would have been ball 4 anyway. Force at 2nd, that's all they'll get, 6-4. Slow roller in the grass here. Off the bat of Jana, he reaches. León is retired on the fielder's choice. 1 down. Again, Jana got plunked on what would have been ball 4 anyways. 3-1 pitch. That was the biggest threat by the Expos offense. The only real threat since the 1st inning. At that point, it was a 5-1 ball game, and you had 2 runners on after the first 2 reached. The lineup turning over for Jacques. But Jacques just flew out to center, and that was as close as the Expos have gotten to breaking through since. I guess you could say with Ramos getting to 3rd last inning, but then the heady play by Atiles to get him coming home. Whoop. Time granted. I was going to say, was that a balk? Here is Jacques, 1 for 3. Now, yeah, that I'm still thinking about that play by Atiles. Liner caught by Jimenez, back to first. Double play. Blue Sox win. Phenomenal infield defense by the Blue Sox tonight. And Harry Tucker's 3-run double in the 2nd flips things around for good as the Blue Sox pick up their 2nd consecutive win. This also clinches the head-to-head tiebreaker against the Expos, having won their second game with 1 to go against Middlesex. And they are now 9-3-1, are the Blue Sox, 19 points. First in the ICL, and the Expos stay 7th out of 7 at 5-9. The dub goes to Brady Andrews. Angel Colon takes the L. Luke Deschanel with a 3-inning save, the second 3-inning save of the year for the Blue Sox. Time of the game, 2 hours and 21 minutes. And the Blue Sox also pick up 10 walks in the game for the second consecutive game. Frank Landero, 2 for 2, the single, double, 2 walks, 2 runs. Tuck had the 3-run double, also had a base hit and a walk. Tiles with 2 RBIs and a run scored, and a couple of fine defensive plays on top of that. Anderson Jimenez, couple RBI singles, a walk, and a run scored. Players of the game, as Bruce might say, everybody. So, with that said, this has been a presentation of LSP, something for everyone since 2011. Copyright 2026, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of LSP or the Blue Sox is strictly prohibited. A reminder that if you'd like to support future LSP content, you can do so by buying shipping shields, the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, using the link and codes on the screen or in the description. Or you can sponsor content straight up for as little as $25 a spot. Email me for all those details. Buy some of this fabulous merchandise from the LSP Spring Store. Scan that QR code for more information. And of course, if you are down with the sound called LSP, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Flash subscribe button. Membership is also available for $5 a month. Spring Store discounts that I've elaborated on. PayPal and Creator Spring. LSP 37, it tastes great on a cracker, and we will see you fine folks Tuesday night, 7:55 air, 8 o'clock first pitch as the Blue Sox renew their rivalry with the Andre Chiefs. First place on the line in the ICL, and for the Blue Sox, most importantly, clinching the head-to-head tiebreaker if they can get the dub in that one. You don't want to miss it. Once again, the final score from Lawrence High School in Lawrence, Mass. Devlin Field. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 7 and the Middlesex Expos 1. For all my rowdy friends here in Lawrence, my name is Sam Feely, reminding you forever and always, freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in. Fresh for 2026. Suckers. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin. Miss you, Tina.